Hi, Chad. We have a quorum.
Okay, great, thank you. So again, this is Chad McCowan. So we heard from TAC Chair Lori Moyer and Vice Chair Gary Hutter that they will both be out today. So our TAC bylaws do allow for this situation. For the TAC to elect a chair for that one particular meeting. So I reached out to Lori and Gary about this situation, and Lori was already on vacation, but Gary and I talked about recommending to the group to elect Mike Hodge, since he had previously, obviously he was the past TAC chair, and I talked with Mike about that, and he is available for that as well and online today. So since we do have an action item that we need to take to the board at their next meeting, we do need to have a TAC chair to run that. So again, our recommendation would be Mike Hodge, but we'll open up to nominations for the TAC chair, and that can be for anyone. So just opening that up.
This is Tom Goodalla. I'll move to nominate Mike Hodge as our interim chair.
Very good. Thank you. Do you have a second on that?
I'll second. This is Emily Barone.
Thank you, Emily. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 And any opposed?
Well, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Mike.
We'll go ahead and get started. First item we've got is review and approval of the meeting minutes from last month's meeting. Does anyone have any comments concerning that? I read through it. I think everything's accurate from my perspective.
It's Bob Day, move approval of minutes.
Thank you, Bob. Is there a second?
Second.
Who was that? Tom?
David Fowler.
Oh, David Fowler. Thank you, David. All right. We have a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Say no. Okay, it's unanimous. Thank you very much. Let's move down to item 3 is the discussion and recommendation concerning the 23-26 TIP and 2045 RTP.
Yeah, I can take this one.
Ryan?
Okay, I'll start. And then hand it over, Heather.
Yeah, so just wanted to present to the TAC this afternoon this summer amendment cycle, and it's the open comment period is ongoing right now. As you can see, the cutoff date for applications was June 6th. Community outreach is ongoing and will go through next Monday. There was an open house last Monday to go over and seek public comment. And then today we're asking for the TAC recommendation of this amendment cycle, which would be presented to the policy board in 3 weeks in August. And one of the reasons that kind of this overlapping is happening is because TxDOT administration is doing the best they can to try to bring projects forward. For example, our 71 grade separations that are entering into the UTP, we wanted to get them ready during the August revision, although they're not exactly in the UTP yet. Now, then admin came back on the 71 grade separations and actually told us that they were worried about all districts doing that and breaking the STIP. And so in terms of fiscal constraints, so the only projects that we're proposing are I-35. So we're proposing these projects for I-35. You want to go to the next slide? this is, all of these different listings is the same scope, the same project of I-35 Capital Express Central, the $4.5 billion project. And this is our May revision cycle to line up what we need the planning consistency for our record of decision here next month. And so if you go to the next page, these are all, again, just the same breakout projects is what we call them, just the way to slice and dice for industry capacity and construction contracts and early work packages, and the way that we phased I-35 Central. And the good news is once these go, we can focus on all those deferred projects and get those ready to let, available to let, which is what we call our rack and stack program. Next slide. So now, do we want a motion for?
Well, I'll cover a few of the items on here.
Okay.
Okay. So I just wanted to provide a bit more information to the TAC members that waiting for someone to mute there. Got it. Okay. Yeah, so originally this was scheduled to be this is part of our regular TIP amendment schedule, and this normally would have been processed in the fall, but as Heather was saying, TXDOT-TPP made a statewide request for MPOs to adjust their amendment schedules to ensure coordination with the STIP revision and also the 2024 Unified Transportation Program. Of course, the UTP is TXDOT's 10-year funding document outlines projects throughout the state. That's being developed right now. There is a public involvement and comment period on that that's currently open. There's a virtual public hearing tomorrow on the 2024 UTP, so that's July 25th at 2 o'clock. And then there are the commission meeting where they will take up action on the next UTP is scheduled for August the 16th. And then, so just wanted to note again, like Heather was saying, part of the reason the schedule is what it is right now. So we didn't receive any other amendments for our fall amendment cycle, where the due date on that was June 6th. So we felt comfortable moving that forward. And just kind of wanted to remind everyone that we never really have, like, we open up a submission period for TIP and RTP revisions. It's always open at all times for agencies to submit amendments to the TIP and RTP. So for instance, it is currently open, and the next cutoff for the spring amendment cycle is November 10th of this year. So the schedule has the public involvement period open for 30 days, which meets CAMPO's public participation plan. But of course, that means that it will close a week from today, of course, after we take it to TAC. Our preference, would have been to have that comment period closed by the time we take that to TAC, but just with the schedule as it was this time, we weren't able to, but it does still have that 30-day period that meets the public participation plan. And I'll also note that TPP members will receive all public comments 7 days before the board meeting for their review, and we have not received any comments to date. So next slide, please. For taking questions, we'll just note that staff and the Texas Austin District request TAC make a technical recommendation to the policy board regarding the amendment process and the submitted amendments. Thank you. Let's go back one slide.
This Bob Day recommend approval.
All right, Bob, that's our motion. Is someone second Bob's motion for approval?
Mike Sexton, second.
All right, thank you, Mike. All right, we have a motion to approve and the recommendation. And will all those in favor, please say aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Mike, I have one question. Sorry, hands up.
Hold on. Hey, Charlie, what's up?
Hey.
Yes.
Just a quick question to Heather. I noticed on the breakout projects, there's a couple that say increased funding. And is this have the costs gone up on the whole central Capital Express, or is that just increases within those those separated out projects? I wasn't sure. There's a couple of places that say increased funding.
Yeah, those are just for that specific CSJ. If you add them all up, it's 4.5. I mean, obviously it's going to be hard if you have that many CSJs to hit the nail each time on each CSJ, and some of them are new. So the total price tag for the project has not gone up. It actually kind of went down because we moved some for CapEx North and South over, and so we had been at 4.9, now we're at 4.5, and that's what's in the UTP. So everything, the costs have not gone up.
Okay, perfect. One other question. Chad, you said that you've had no one has commented yet on this public comment?
That's right. I also wanted to mention, we had in the schedule there, but we had an open house here last Monday here at CAMPO. Yeah, we don't have any public comments yet.
Chad, this is Amy from Bastrop County. I've got a quick question. I heard the 71 flyovers get brought up, but my connection, I guess, must have been a little bit spotty because I pretty much only caught 71 and flyover. So what was it that kind of got?
Yeah, so the 71 grade sets, they entered into the UTP for the first time. So what administration was trying to do was allow districts to be able to bring those forward early in fiscal year 24, but due to utility agreements, those projects we have, and what we do is we program an available to let date on them, to where if they're looking we're trying to hit 12 billion lettings in fiscal year 24. And so some of those new projects that just came into the UTP that are ready, that's what we do. We program them with that available to let. And right now that availability is June right now, just because of utility agreements and some of the utility work, but we could see those being delivered as early as June if they're selected. And I'm pretty hopeful that they'll be bringing forward some of those, really ready projects that have been sitting outside of the UTP window.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I think I said grade separation. So the Tucker Hill, Pope Bend, and 1209, those projects.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. I've got a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 And anyone opposed, say no. Okay, that passes unanimously. All right, then let's move down to item number 4, and that'll be update on project readiness. Chad, I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, thank you very much. So yeah, so we've had some movement on some of these corridors that are part of our project readiness program. So we have Eric here from our GEC team to provide us an overview on some of those.
All right, thanks, Chad. Yes, Eric Busker here from the GEC. Just wanted to present a high-level overview of the program, kind of at a glance. So we'll be continuously updating this schedule as the program develops. Obviously, in REDS, everything is subject to change, but this is what we know as of right now. So each corridor is there listed on the left, and then the actual project limits are within the limits of those bars. The green bars represent projects that are expected to go full NEPA, so full schematic, environmental clearance, and everything. The yellow orangish bars are intended to be more of the feasibility planning type projects. But again, that's subject to change depending on just how the project develops and stakeholder input and things like that. But FM 973 and FM 734 are underway and moving very rapidly. And actually, one positive update, FM 969 was supposed to start in calendar year 2024, but it looks like TxDOT's actually able to push that into calendar year 2023. So hopefully within the next few months, we can report that a consultant has been selected, and that hopefully we can get started with data collection and that planning project this calendar year. And then the projects there at the bottom with the timeline to be determined, as we've talked about in the past. So those are just projects that did not have a CSJ associated with them, but they were included with the latest updates to the UTP. So I think those should be included and officially approved within the next month, maybe 2 at the most. And then we can identify some preliminary start dates for those projects. Next slide, please. All right, just a couple of quick updates on FM 973. Biggest update actually is that TxDOT agreed to extend the limits. They were previously from US 290 up to FM 1660, but it really just made more sense to extend the project all the way to US 79 in Taylor. It's just a more logical termini, and also will make a little more sense to the public doing it as one project. So we'll be updating the consultant's contract to include those limits. So that'll be good. We're in the middle of looking at alternatives, alternative typical sections, kind of the left, right, center assessments. Environmental studies are also underway. And here, before the end of the month, we'll be reaching out to some of our stakeholders, so the local governments that are along FM 973, which include Travis County, City of Manor, City of Pflugerville, and then Williamson County and City of Taylor. The reason we're going to get in front of them is try to make sure that we line up all of their locally approved master transportation plans, since they'll be intersecting 973 at various locations. So those local governments can expect to hear from us within the next couple of weeks. But again, stakeholder engagement will continue to be ongoing after that, with the goal of having an environmentally cleared schematic design and footprint by the end of calendar year 2024. Next slide, please. Okay, and then just a quick update on FM 734 project. Alternatives evaluation and stakeholder engagement are ongoing. We've had a few meetings actually. We met with Williamson County and the City of Cedar Park to just kind of present the project, introduce it to these local governments, and get an idea of what they see are the concerns and constraints, ideas for improvements, things like that. And we actually have meetings with Travis County and the City of Austin next week to gain similar feedback. And so after that, we'll kind of take all that feedback, incorporate it, and develop some alternative designs to put back in front of those stakeholders later this year, and then ultimately to the public. Hopefully we can get in front of the public this calendar year as well. But that's the update on the FM 734 project. And then again, FM 969 should be coming online here in the next few months. So we'll certainly keep you all posted once that gets approved. So any questions? Okay.
All right.
Appreciate it, y'all.
Sounds good.
All right. That gets us through item 4. Now down to 5. Report on transportation planning activities.
Okay, I'll turn this over to Will. Some updates on some funding opportunities.
Let's go regional planning manager for CAMPO. This is really just your reminder to sign up for the NOFO mailing list through the US DOT website. Keep your eye out for more discretionary grant opportunities. Particularly, you might start seeing more NOFOs that combine funding from programs into a single streamlined notice of funding opportunity. Right now, open is the multimodal project discretionary grant opportunity, which is a combination of some programs that previously had their own NOFO, that being mega, infra, and rural. So all combined, this one NOFO is now worth roughly $5.6 billion. Applications are due in just over a month, or just under a month, sorry, August 21st. There's one more that I wanted to bring up as well, that it's due in September. It's due on September 28th. That's the Reconnecting Communities and Neighborhoods NOFO, which is also a combination of 2 other programs, that being the Reconnecting Communities Pilot Program and the Neighborhood Access and Equity Program, to the tune of $3.5 billion available. So again, there's just lots of opportunities out there. They come up really quick. but if you have it's a good opportunity to kind of take a look and see if one of these opportunities is good fit to get your project funded. That's all I had.
All right, thank you. Any questions from the group, the committee? All right, and that'll take us down to announcements. Policy board meeting on August 14th at 2 p.m. And then we've got the TAC meeting, next meeting, August 24th of 2023. I don't have anything else. Is there something from the committee or the staff?
Nothing else from staff here.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
This is Sharmila Mukherjee with Camp Metro. Just wanted to share with the group that we are very fortunate as an agency and a region to have received $18 million raised grant for double tracking along Red Line, which on a segment that would also be useful on future Green Line, as well as Plaza Saltillo station expansion. And most importantly, that project would also include trail and pedestrian connection improvements under City Urban Trail Program, funded through the same grant as well. So I just wanted to share that, and we will be taking some next steps with CAMPO to have that grant be reflected in STIP, and the projects are updated accordingly.
That is good news. Thanks for sharing it.
Very good news.
Okay, one else. All right, that takes us to adjournment, and I have looks like 23. And appreciate everyone participating. Thank you very much. Have a good rest of your day.
Mike, see you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
All right.